Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Tell Me About You. Now, today we have an amazing, talented, also come on with the hair. She know, she know. We have the amazing Sharee, and she is going to tell you all about her. Go
Yes, hello, my name is Sharee, and I am a St. Louis born and raised and bred filmmaker, creative producer, and writer. And I absolutely love and adore any and all stories about Black people, for Black people, made by Black people. And that's me.
ahead. Okay, okay. Short and sweet, short and sweet,
Yeah, short and sweet.
short and sweet. So, you said you like the films.
Mhm.
So what specifically do you like when it comes to films? Also, you work in film.
Yeah. So full time, I am a producer at Breakwater Studios, and it's a short documentary production company where we focus on empathic storytelling. And we really also love to expose like the hidden figures that the world should know about but don't. So, people who've done extraordinary things, who've had a positive impact on our culture and the world, but people would not know their name if they heard it. So we, create documentaries to make sure the world knows about these beautiful courageous people, and while also like giving them their honor due and respect for the way that they've contributed to our lives.
So, with you being in the short film documentary series and stuff, is there is there a specific one that you guys do? Because I believe I saw one on YouTube, maybe
Yeah,
two of
maybe two, maybe three, maybe six.
them.
Yeah, so at Breakwater, I produced the second season of a series called Flowers, which is
Mm,
basically where we talk to different people from the Black community on YouTube who's had some type of impact, from beauty to natural hair to bringing awareness to Black anime lovers. And so it's a series that's all about, once again, like giving us our due, giving people their flowers, highlighting how them just being themselves and being Black is just a beautiful thing. And encouraging other people to, if they want to follow their footsteps, their dreams are important and they matter and they should be pursued. So that is, there's two seasons, three episodes for each season, so six films total, and I myself produced four out of the six.
mm.
Mhm.
Did you have, was there one out of the four that you specifically produced where you were like, I would love to talk to this creator again?
I would say, honestly, I would probably want to talk to all of them again, just because, you know, there's so much depth in
Mm,
everybody's story, and you can only, with a short documentary, you only have so much time, you only have so much space, so much room to like really get there and get to the heart of things. But I would say the first one that really made me, you know, grateful and blessed to be a part of the series is the one about Nima Tang, and that was the first one that I produced.
mm,
As a dark-skinned Black woman, her journey resonated with me. Being in environments that don't appreciate our skin tones, don't appreciate the way our hair grows out of our head,
mhm.
they don't appreciate, but they're okay appropriating all the beautiful things about us. So her, and I think that was also probably like my deepest wound, was being a Black woman and then being a darker skinned Black woman. So that one is the one that has spoken to me the most, because she creates room and space for darker skinned Black women to understand and see just how beautiful they are as they are, regardless of if anybody else sees it.
Mhm. So, with that one being the one that hit home the most, like, were how did you manage? How did you get through that, like, mentally? Because you had, you're supposed to be on the outside. So like with you being able to connect in the way that you have, actually many a millions of people able to connect. Cause I watched it and I was like, you did you did this one.
Thank you.
It had me crying. I said, oh my God.
Oh,
Had my daughters watch it too.
oh, I love that.
Cause I'm like, y'all, like, cause we didn't have it growing up.
Mm-mm. Nope.
We had your hair gotta be silky smooth, permed, ruining your hair,
Fried.
laid to the side, as they say.
Hmm.
All
Hmm.
of that. So like how did you like mentally get yourself through it?
I think I would say I had honestly worked through some of that trauma. So I'll kind of go back. So I would say the way that I learned that I was a black girl was sometime in elementary school. So when I was in preschool, my family and I lived in a predominantly black neighborhood. Everybody looked alike,
Mm,
nothing weird about that, nothing different. But because my parents wanted me and my siblings to have better schooling, we moved to the suburbs, and that meant that there was less than a handful of black families in the neighborhood, if that. And so
mm,
the school that I went to, most of the people didn't look like me, and I felt out of place, but also I thought I was making friends. And one day, me and my one of my classmates was walking home from school, and he turned to me for whatever reason and told me that you're ugly because you're black. And I'm like, that just like shattered my world because I'm like, first of all, I'm thinking you a friend. Second of all, I'm figuring out what you really think about me. Third of all, what do I even do with this? Because I'm used to being in an environment where blackness is just what it is, and that's where I'm comfortable. So I became extremely self-conscious.
mm,
And little things would happen that made me feel like I was an alien. Like one time I remember we were outside in recess and it was cold outside, and a girl who was my best friend, she was a Caucasian girl. Um, we were outside and like it was real cold, and my nose started turning red. And she was like, "Oh, your nose is turning," and I'm like, "I have blood in my body, like, like I'm not some, a toy of a stuffed animal. Like I'm a human being." And I had friends like I couldn't go in their house, or I can go in couldn't go in their house to play. They couldn't come in my house to play. We had to play with each other outside. So like stuff like that that's just demeaning and destructive to your identity and your ability to love yourself, because you're constantly feeling like something's wrong with me. I'm not enough. I'm not good. And so thankfully, as I got older, some other things happened in life that drew me to therapy, and I started, going to therapy and dealing with those things. So by the time I produced the film, the feelings and the emotions and the experiences weren't as intense.
mhm,
And honestly, hearing Nima's story and really going through it with her, was healing for me. And I think that's the thing that I enjoy most about film and creating. And honestly, it's been my experience since the beginning. It is healing for me,
mm,
to just not only, if it's my film, to share my story and share my truth, but create space, a safe space for other people to do that, which also, encourages the people who watch to know, to feel seen and heard, and know that they can do the same thing. And so, yeah, it was a definitely a healing experience, and one that I don't take lightly and hope to continue to experience.
mm. Look, I ain't gonna hold you. A tear was finna fall, but I was like, hold it in.
Oh.
Because it's refreshing. Like even though I'm a clap on, clap off,
Mhm.
it's like we all hear like similar things.
Mhm.
And like I understand like when you're light skinned, there is a certain privilege. Like when I tell you when I figured that part out, I said, what? I was like, I've
Mhm.
had this all along.
Mhm.
But like I think the reason I didn't realize I had it is because all of my friends who were darker skinned, like you're next to me in anything I'm doing.
Exactly. Mhm.
You're right here. In fact, I'm pushing you ahead of the game. Like, come on, let's go.
Mhm.
if it was an opportunity that's like I knew that was best for them, even though I may have like wanted it and I may have wanted it for a moment, but
Mhm.
sitting down with myself being like, but I really don't want that. But this person does.
Yeah.
If you don't scooch out, come on.
Hmm.
We're gonna do
Hmm.
everything we can to push you up to the forefront, girl.
Right.
And it's like the fact that you're able to see these stories and be able to connect to them, like from you being from St. Louis, and again, figuring out that you're a black kid, crazy. Like, what? Back to all the stuff that you do amazingly. Is there, because I know I saw on the Instagrams
Hmm.
that you had put in for a competition. So, like, do you regularly like put your film, like, put you guys' film works and everything in competitions?
Yeah, so usually, I guess the pipeline for any type of film, I would say particularly, well, yeah, short and documentary, narratives, documentary. Typically the pipeline is like once you finish it, you enter it into festivals because either you want to win awards so that you get more, awareness of it, and maybe it connects to an impact campaign connected to the film, or you want to attract, distributors to maybe get it on like Hulu or Netflix or whatever.
Mm,
And or typically you just want to build an audience, and the film festival is like a great way to do that, to literally reach people all over the city, state, country, world. And so with the film that I personally wrote, directed, and produced called Black Girl Blue, I for sure entered that into some festivals and had an absolutely beautiful experience through that.
mm.
It won some awards. I was able to connect with, universities and, just people from literally around the world on about the film. And so festivals are a great way to gain exposure on a film, to test the impact that it'll have on people while also building an audience for that project. But also if they take to you, as a director, whatever you work on or bring to life after that.
So when it comes to these like festivals, well, first, can are people able to like see your specific film?
Not yet, because since I've been working at my company, I've been able to be a part of a lot of films coming together. And
Mm.
so I would say my creative vision for it has kind of shifted from what it was at first. And so I want to add to it. And so once I do that, I feel like I feel comfortable releasing it to the world. But if someone asks for a link, I may or may not share it
Can
so
I
they
be
can watch
someone?
it.
Can I be
Yeah,
someone?
girl, I got you. I got
Okay,
you.
because I'm gonna sit and look at it and be like, also tell
Yeah.
us what's it about a little bit. 'Cause,
Yeah,
like, am I
so
gonna cry? Because I'm real sensitive. I will cry.
you probably will cry. So make sure you in a good space beforehand. But it's called Black Girl Blue, and in it, several black women from different walks of life. So like an artist, a teacher, someone who works in finance. Each of them shares their unique journey with mental health, their challenges, what they had to overcome, and what was it that helped them to become free and to heal. And so we take you through their journey, and by the end, hopefully you're inspired to, tend to yourself and tend to your mental health and make that a priority in your life. And also know that if you go through some things, that you're not alone. You know, in the black community, we have the what stay in the house, what happens in the house stays in the house, but I don't believe that that's healthy for anybody.
Mm-mm.
So, truth is what sets us free and makes us whole. And so that's what this film is about.
I know I'm a ball. I know I am. I know I'm going. Oh my goodness. I know I'm gonna cry. Let me just.
Hmm.
I'm gonna get it together now. I'm
Okay.
gonna get it together now. I'm gonna get it together because I know as soon as I look at them, be oh, why? That's what I mean. Because people, I'm happy that in the Black community, therapy is becoming way more acceptable than it used to be.
Hmm.
Because I remember when I first started going to therapy, I got made fun of for it.
Mm.
Like, and the people who made fun of me, now all of them are like, "Yeah, we need to go get some therapy." It's
Mhm.
like, see, now look at you.
Right. Now you know.
For I'm all healed and secure and having a good time with my life, and you over here just looking like yourself. Love you though.
Mm-hmm.
But no, that's awesome that you let that be a continuous thing that you want people to work on. So with the company that you work with, do they give you like free reign on what you want to do?
Well, at the company, so for the most part, our films are connected to helping brands tell their stories. So
Mm,
basically finding the unexpected story connected to brands and how they impact people, how, it's not, we look at going to the mall or whatever is just, buying something. It's a even exchange, transactional thing. But there's also the human side of it, how brands impact people's everyday lives, and how brands and companies have had some type of, for some people, have been a catalyst for them to become like who they are and what they've
mm.
been able to do. And without that, they wouldn't be who they are. They wouldn't be where they are. And so those are the type of stories that we like to tell. And also we have originals. So usually ideas that, I could see a news article about somebody being the first, I don't know, the first black female track runner or whatever. And I could come to my company and be like, oh, I feel like this would be an amazing story. And if she's still
Mm.
living, we want to interview her, talk to her about it. So yeah, it's a mix of both. We don't necessarily get to like say, I want to go tell this story unless we find a story that like fits all the things that we like to do, and we can bring it back and be like, we should do this. But for the majority of our stuff is like helping brands tell their story, the human side of their story.
So going back to you being in all these festivals and you speaking, could you speak a little bit more of your experience with said festivals? Like, how is it, like, was it easy to like put in for like the people who are trying to like submit stuff? Like,
Mhm.
how how was that for you?
It was a festivals was submitting to festivals was a pretty it was a seamless process. I went on filmfreeway.com and submitted to all of them that way. I honestly got myself mentally and emotionally prepared that I was going to have some rejections, because that's just a part of the process. And to not take it personally, and whatever festival the film was accepted or invited into was the one that would have the most impact or would help me reach my goals. And so it was a beautiful experience, because like I mentioned before, when you have an idea that you want to bring to life, and at least for me, when I have an idea, I have connected to it. What do I want this to do? Who
Mm,
do I want this to touch? What do I want to change after people see it? Either internally, outwardly. It's not me making something just to make something. There's always a purpose connected to it. And so once you make it, you don't know if it's fulfilling that purpose until people see it.
mm,
So it being in a festival allows you to confirm this is doing what I needed to do, or maybe I need to shift this so it does more of this and less than that. So it's feedback on whether or not what you set out to do was accomplished. And if so, like at what level, like does this need to expand? Does this need to, turn into something else? Like how can you breathe life to it and really like ramp it up? So festivals, I really, really, really enjoy festivals. But I'm not gonna lie, it's nerve-wracking at the same time,
mm,
because you don't know how people are going to respond. But I feel like as long as you keep your pure intentions, particularly when it's about positively impacting people, that you'll be steered in the right direction. And if it's just one person, literally, if it's just one person who watches it and says like, I needed this was talking to me, this has freed me, then that's all you needed. That's all you need.
When it comes to like the award process, like first, like what is the like do you treat every award that you get the same, and what is the highest award that you have gotten when it came to you either working on something or just something that you did yourself?
Well, I take any and every award as a blessing
Okay.
because none of it is guaranteed, none of it is promised, and I'm not gonna say none of it is deserved, but I'm not entitled when it comes to any of it.
Hmm.
And so the highest award that I've been connected to was last year, a short documentary that I was a production coordinator on, won
Hmm.
an Oscar for Best Short Documentary. And when I tell you that was like the most wild, but also the most affirming thing because a few years before that, I believe 100% in vision boards. I'm a
Mm.
visual person, a spiritual person, and that connects the two together for me. And literally on my vision board, I have the word Oscar on there.
I know that's right. Girl, I know that's right.
Girl, it works. It works. And I also know one day that I'm gonna have a statue with my name on it, an Oscar with my name on it. And so when you create the vision board, sometimes the reality of it feels so far away. But to work on a project that has my name on it, that won
Hmm.
an Oscar is like, okay, you weren't that delusional, like you were closer than you thought you were. And so like keep going and keep walking the path.
My bad. My bad. I'm trying to,
Nah, you
because like I want the way I want to react, I can't react.
good. Uh-huh.
I'm just gonna do it a little bit later.
Okay,
I'm like,
okay.
and I know that's gonna be me. But when it came to you, like when it came to that moment, well, first, what you said you were a production coordinator.
hmm
So what exactly is that?
So a production coordinator is a role. Let me take a little sip of this water.
While we at it.
Take a little water break. So a production coordinator is a role right above the production assistant role. So the production assistant can be involved with any and everything on a production. So helping with lunch, driving people around, picking them up from the airport, dropping them off at the airport, going to get some tissue because somebody crying, going to get a new shirt because somebody spilled grape juice on it. Any and everything that's needed, a production assistant is ready and willing and open to make it happen because things got to keep moving. We can't pause too long. And so a coordinator is a position that's right above that, and they usually manage the production assistants. So they also, help to make sure that things happen on schedule and that the production assistants are, doing what needs to be done to make sure things can keep rolling smoothly. So they also usually help to create call sheets, which are the documents that let people know what time they're supposed to be on set, where they're supposed to be, what's happening that day, contact information, all of that. And they also, make sure that people have their lunch orders in, just literally kind of like not kind of, but like the backbone of making sure everything that happens needs to happen when it's supposed to happen and that the ball doesn't get dropped. So my as a production coordinator on that project, I helped with the post credit scene, which is a scene where the orchestra is playing the song, and so I helped like make sure. I think I had to order pizza for like 100 something people. Had to make sure people filled out their paperwork. So basically saying that whatever we recorded of them, we can actually use in the project. And so it's really like a little bit of any and everything, but um yeah, it was definitely like a proud moment, especially for me to have been in LA for under 2 years and like that had already for that to already
Hmm.
be the case is just like wild.
Hmm. Come
Wild.
on with it. Come on with it. And nah, you definitely gonna get that Oscar. And it was, something really funny because you talked about being a spiritual person too.
hmm
Okay, so I gotta explain to him how we met. So then it'll all make sense.
Okay.
So guys, how I met the lovely, awesome, talented Sharee was at DreamCon in 20, it was 2024? What year is
hmm
this? 2025. Yep,
Yep.
2024. And I saw that they were filming something and I saw this camera. I was like, why is this camera metal? Who did this? Let me ask questions. So I went over to, I forget what the meant. I apologize for forgetting your name. Both of you,
I
sir.
know it's
But both of y'all, I'm sorry for forgetting your
they
name.
they forgive you.
Thank goodness. So I went to one person. I was like, yo, what are y'all filming? Da, da, da. He told me a little bit. And I said, well, whose camera is that? He took me to this camera. He took me to the cameraman. No, the director. He took me to the director. And I was like, yo, XYZ, da, da, da. He said, oh, let me show you the producer. So then you can ask her questions. I said, her? How? He said, her? I didn't say that to him because I didn't want him to be like, duh. I said her.
Uh,
And then when I saw you, I was like,
uh,
because like I told you when I met you, like I don't meet a lot of black women producers.
hmm
I don't,
hmm
especially like in news industry. I didn't really meet that many.
Yeah.
And for you to sit over there and talk to me, I said, oh, oh. And then it was so funny because after you had gave me your Instagram and was like, yo, just shoot me a message.
hmm
I looked at your Instagram. I said, she did not tell me that. She did not tell, because I'm just seeing that this woman that won an Oscar. I said, why is she talking to me? What is,
Stop.
I'm like, she got a whole Oscar. Like, what is she talking to me for? Like, is something wrong with me? I don't know what's going on. So the reason it's so funny and why it feels like a spiritual thing, because like you said, vision boards. I would write down the stuff that I was like wanting, right? There was a person who I wanted to be able to have a conversation with. He was an Emmy winner. He
Mm,
had left me on red.
mm,
And it was funny because it was, again, before I met you. So
mhm.
then when I meet you and you were like, yo, yeah, you could talk to me about these things, da da da. I looked, I had a whole moment. I said, oh, I did say at some point in my life I want to win an Oscar. Okay.
Mm,
And I thought that, like, before I met you, I fully thought I was like, man, I'm never going to be able to like talk to someone who's won like these kind of awards and XYZ. And again, I'm not discounting any Emmy winners. I'm not discounting Emmys. Emmys is an amazing feat. It's
yeah,
fantastic. It is awesome. I love it.
100%.
But that being said, the fact that an Emmy winner did not want to have a conversation with me, but an Oscar winner did.
Mm.
I said, well, God, I guess I'm cool. Fine. I'm fine.
That's the thing though. When we ask him, we usually get above and beyond what we were looking for. Above
Girl,
and beyond.
girl, because it was when I tell you, because I wasn't even supposed to be at DreamCon when I was there. I was not
Mm.
supposed to be there.
Wow.
Something that I was supposed to go somewhere else. And
hmm
then I got upset and I canceled that entire thing. I was like,
Mm.
forget it. I'm just gonna go to DreamCon with my brother, help him out. I'm just gonna go ahead. And when I tell you, I said, oh well, I guess the whole saying everything does happen for a
hmm
reason. And
hmm
there's no such thing as a coincidence. Because I said, I was like, y'all, did y'all see what she got? Look at that. She got the girl know like it. And then like the stuff that you will tell me, like when it comes to like my filmmaking journey and how I would, yeah, listen, she done read some messages of me freaking out. She done read some messages of me freaking out. I was like, I don't know what to
Uh-huh.
do. Da, da,
Uh-huh.
da. But y'all, the fact that this woman is a wealth of knowledge and she is able to talk to me, someone who be laughing about everything.
I do too.
It's like it's such a surreal thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fact that you even agreed to do this interview.
Mm-hmm.
Again, so and you got stuff you gotta do. You busy. Shoot, there'll be times I'll message you, you like, oh yeah, I'm flying to this coast. Flying to this coast. Hold on.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's
I
cool.
do I do be on a plane.
You stay on the plane. You stay on the plane. But no,
Mhm.
it's awesome that you don't let anything get to your head. Cause there's some people they win an Oscar, they're like, Don't talk
Hmm.
to me.
Right. Don't even look my
Don't even look.
way.
Don't look at me, you peasant. I understand.
Yeah.
That's how I ain't gonna hold you. I probably feel like that for like 2.5 minutes. And I have to remember, no, you're a person.
Yes, that part. That
But
part.
it's like the fact that you don't let it get to your head. How do you not let it get to your head?
That's a great question. I think the main thing is I understand that what I'm able to do is a gift from the creator of any and everything that exists. And hmm, and it's oof, girl.
Let them use you. Let them use you. Let them use you. What they say, take a sip of water.
Yeah, let me get another sip.
Mhm. Let them use you. You got it.
Um, what I'm able to do and the way that I'm able to do it and the fact that I'm literally still I still exist. I'm still breathing. I'm still sane. Is due to God's love, God's care, God's protection of me throughout my entire life. Literally, I've had several experiences like that could have and should have taken
Mhm.
me out, if not physically, emotionally, mentally. And all of those experiences have humbled me and made me so grateful for life and that I get to continue to experience it. But also, um, what was I going to say? I get to experience it, but also, like I mentioned, it's a gift. Like it's not anything that I dreamed up that I created for myself. It's something that I was given, and God has been guiding me on how to bring it to life. Um, And I think also because of the struggles that I've had, I'm very empathetic when it comes to other people. Like I understand what it feels like to have a dream about something and to have an ache for it, but feel like you're so far away, feel like it'll never happen, feel like there are too many obstacles in the way. And so that is a very tender time it was a tender time for me. It's a tender time for most people. And so, any way I can help people to feel safe and seen in that space, but also encourage and usher them into the next step of that to bringing it to life is it's sacred. It's a sacred moment and a sacred thing to be able to help with. I honestly feel like all of the heartache and pain that I've been through has kept me in touch and in tune with love, with patience, with caring for people, with treating people how I want to be treated, and with the fact that none of this is happening on my own genius or whatever. It's all because it's been crafted and designed within me, and I'm an expression of the creator of the universe, and that continuously keeps me humble because I'm loved by the one who made everything, who spoke everything into life. And
Mm.
so my my goal with anything I say, I do, and how I show up is to be that love to other people. And so that's what keeps me me.
Girl, I'm holding it in. I got it. I got it because I ain't gonna hold you. When you started crying, I was like, oh, what you doing? You finna do it, Kaylee, you gonna break. No, that is amazing. Like when it, dang, I'm trying not to cuss in this one.
Hey, it's okay to let it out a little. I mean, I do a little cussing,
Okay.
they're words,
Girl,
they're
I do a
expressions.
lot of cussing. I do low key. You probably think I was a sailor if you heard how much I cuss.
That's funny.
But like the fact that you have not let your circumstances dictate who you are and where you're going says a lot. It says a lot because again, you from St. Louis and you know St. Louis get a bad rep.
Girl, it sure does.
They get, especially East St. Louis, no disrespect.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all
Mm-hmm.
get mad bad rep.
Yeah.
But it's like you didn't let where you come from dictate anything that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, did you even, before you got into film, where were you before you got here?
Mm-hmm. So before I got to LA, I was in St. Louis, Missouri, born and raised. Like LA is only the second place I've ever lived outside of St. Louis. I've there my whole life basically. And so what I was doing there, I was doing a lot of different stuff. I was working at a TV station as a producer of like an entertainment program for a government access channel. I was a PA and I was a 31-year-old PA. Usually that's a job for like you 22 years old, usually when you being a PA. And
Hmm.
so that's part of that humility. Like, this is part of my journey. I'm gonna go through it. I don't care how old I am. Thankfully, I look 10 years younger, so people probably thought I was 21. But being a production assistant, I worked as a communication specialist for a nonprofit, Nestle Purina. I worked in PR for a minute. Worked on some freelance short films, a feature, narrative feature. So anyway, I also was a business manager at a therapist office for some years. So I did whatever I needed to do to keep the money flowing in, but also keep my creativity going at the same time. Anytime I thought like, ooh, I want to try this or ooh, I want to try that. I was never afraid to actually do it. And through that process, I was able to eliminate, the safe things career wise. Like at one point in time, I was like, oh, maybe film ain't gonna work. Maybe, maybe I'll do public relations. I tried public relations. This ain't fulfilling. No, I can enjoy parts of it, but this is not the it for me. I know what the it is. So I had to experience all those other things to know for sure that this is it and to give me, the strength, the courage to like stay on that path because this is the path. And so I would say how, growing up in St. Louis, how I first started loving film, it was a way for me to feel safe and express myself. So like I mentioned, growing up in the environment that I did, I always, most of the time, felt out of place, was anxious for sure. I also was what, third grade, 5 feet, 7 inches tall. So I was a tall girl, and then a dark skinned black girl. And so just, where my people at? Where do I fit in? Where do I feel safe and comfortable? And then when, the kids who look like me, the black kids started coming, they would make fun of me for being dark. And then they made fun of me for being tall. So I'm like, well, hey, like where are my people? Like I feel very alone in this. And so I literally started a journal in elementary school. And I think I might have been, I don't know, maybe second, third grade. I started using writing as a tool to express myself. I absolutely fell in love with words. Like, give me a spelling test and I'm getting 100 on it.
Mhm.
Like, words are just my balm, I guess. So that's how I soothed myself and felt better about things. And so I started a journal. So writing was my first entry, into creativity. Then it ended up being painting. And then I would say, in I don't know, maybe mid to late elementary school. I have a brother who's 5 years younger than me, and he started junior football. So my parents bought a camcorder to record his game so he could have his footage, watch it back, see what he could have done better and all that type of stuff. And so when the family would leave the house and I was at home by myself, I would grab that camcorder, set it up, and I would like turn my music on and dance and sing and just like be myself and be comfortable and be free. and I would recite monologues because I wanted to act, even though I was too scared to audition. I would like, recite monologues. Just the camcorder just allowed me to be me, unfiltered, raw, whatever. And so I even had a time where like I created a script that had my sister and her friend like act it out for me. So I just fell in love with the expression through the video, through the camera. And so from there, I studied communications and did news in undergrad at St. Louis University. I also got my master's in media communications from Webster. And no matter what thing that I did outside of film, film was always my love because it was where I felt safe, where I felt seen. Like I would literally watch Lifetime from the evening until the sun came back up. That's how engrossed I was in stories and, seeing the beginning, middle, and end of something. And um, yeah, seeing just the different aspects of life being expressed visually on screen. And so yeah, I fell in love with film and creativity and expression because it was my safe space in an environment where I didn't feel like I had that. So it allowed me to create that for myself, which is also why it's important for me, uh, why the purpose for what I create is to do that for other people.
Girl, you was good. Good. I'm just
Thank you.
hey, first off, you've done every job.
Girl, tell me about it. I worked in a grocery store. I was a cashier. I was worked in customer service. I worked
Ooh.
in accounts payable at a grocery store before. I've worked in tech before. I've when I tell you any and everything, literally any and everything. I was a journalist writing articles for the St. Louis American newspaper, The Root before, and then a magazine that's local to St. Louis. So like I said, I've my hands have touched every other possibility in life for me, and I know for sure that writing and film are my must and my calling basically.
Mm. So like outside of documentaries, do you have a favorite genre of film that you would possibly want to make?
Oh, for sure. I love me a biographical film. And
Mm.
so like Hidden Figures, how that's like based on, true story, things that real people, because I feel like especially when it comes to black people, especially when it comes to black women, we don't know enough about where we have come from, you know, and leave it to society. We ain't done nothing. We ain't no good. All we do is make things worse. And so I would love to tell more stories about who the black women were who came before us and how they paved the way for not only who we are now, but who we can be, which is literally any and everything we could dream of. So I absolutely love, based on true story, based on real life people. And then I would say my second is probably fantasy because I like world building, building a world with its own rules and its own challenges and its own dangers and its own beauty just appeals to me. Yeah, because like I've always been like a stargazer. I remember like growing up, our school would have us do the planetary, what is it called? A planetarium thing. And I just lived for that. Something about the stars, like literally now I'm a gazer. So uh yeah. Creativity is gonna always be a part of me.
Girl, you on top of you doing all the stuff that you do and all the stuff that I'm gonna say you're currently doing that you can't talk about, which that's okay. You can't talk
Hmm.
about it.
Hmm.
Where where do you see like your end goal?
My ultimate dream is to own and operate my own production company one day where I write, direct, and produce, not just alone, but alongside other Black creatives, Black female creatives, and tell stories that are for us, by us, with the mission to make sure that we feel seen, heard, and loved and
Mm.
appreciated. And so that could be in a form of a comedy, that could be in a form of a, well, I was gonna say horror, but I don't know. It could be horror.
Could be,
Because
could be.
if it's telling the truth about, where we been and where we at and some of the things we struggle through, which is, connecting and setting somebody free and making them feel less alone. I had to process that. But yeah, like whatever, I see myself basically doing my making my own way and my own lane in this industry, and doing it with integrity and love for us and for us to be affirmed. Yeah.
Mm. Okay, okay. So would you, so what would be, well, two questions. When you make that biopic movie, I'm gonna say when you do that,
Amen.
who would be the person? Like, what person do you have in mind for said movie?
Like to be like cast
Oh, we can go cast and
and
let's just go cast.
partners, pet cast.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I love me some Viola
I
Davis.
was just thinking that. I was just thinking that.
Yes, I love so Viola Davis, Angela Bassett.
They do good work. They
Yes,
do
those
good work.
I absolutely love to work on something with them. Trust me, I have a whole list. I have a whole list. But those are the first two that come to mind, and I'm always, tuned into what they're doing, how they're doing it, how they carry themselves with so much grace, how they speak so much truth, and they're authentic and transparent, and that's how I want to continue to show up. And so they keep me on the path for sure.
So, have you ever had a chance to speak to either one of them?
I have not, however,
Mhm.
a film that I was a coordinator on, which actually won some awards this year. She was part of a panel talking about the film. I think it might have been one of the screenings of the film. So she was there because it was a project that we had in collaboration with L'Oreal. And so, she's a
Mm.
L'Oreal girl. And
Mm.
so she was part of that conversation. So, they say the degrees of separation. I'm inching closer. I'm getting
But
closer.
Viola, Miss
Yes.
Viola. I'm sorry, Miss Viola. My
Yeah.
apologies. And Miss Angela.
Mhm.
I'm gonna need y'all to go ahead and talk to my girl. I mean, y'all can have
Yeah,
a
hit me
conversation with me
up.
too. Y'all have a
Call
conversation with me
me.
too. We can converse. We can converse.
Exactly. Let's make it
'Cause,
happen.
no, you right. Them two. Them two. I
Hmm.
remember there was a clip going around Viola Davis, and she was talking about how somebody kept comparing her to Meryl Streep. She was like, "Y'all want to compare me to Meryl Streep, but y'all want to give me Meryl Streep pay." I
Hmm.
said,
That
"Let me."
part.
I said, first off, let me tell you something. You right? Because just realizing like the disparity between her and someone else, seeing the stuff that she has done, I
Hmm.
said, "Woof." Well,
Hmm.
I'm happy that this is finally getting a light shown on it.
Exactly. I mean, don't appreciate me with your words. Appreciate me with your actions. Demonstrate my value to you
The ching
through,
ching, if you will, the ching ching.
yes, because that's what talks. That's what talks in this industry for
And I
sure.
love Meryl Streep. That's not, I
Oh,
love
for sure.
Meryl
Me
Streep.
too. Me too.
I love some
Yeah.
Meryl. I love that
Hmm.
woman.
Hmm.
But that
Hmm.
Viola.
Yeah.
And then when they did the challenge of that walk, had me rolling. That
Mhm.
was some of the funniest.
Oh my God.
That was some
Girl.
gold. I was, and then she participated in it. I said,
Exactly.
and she's a good sport.
She
She's,
like, okay, I'll play along with y'all. Y'all got me.
she's amazing. She's amazing, guys. She's amazing.
Yeah, I
But
love
we
her.
already, so you already got her on the call sheet.
Yes,
Got her
yes, I do.
and
Hmm.
Angela on the call
Hmm.
sheet.
Hmm.
Okay, what leading man would you think about? Oh, now we gotta
Mm.
talk about what leading man.
Mm. Hmm. What man? Mm. I love Idris Elba. Idris Elba
Fire, fire,
for sure.
fire choice.
Um, One of my, okay, I mean, you got to say Denzel.
Then
Because even though he retiring, so we'll see. Maybe I can bring him out of retirement.
he retiring.
I think that's what he's working towards. I'm sensing that he's winding down. So
Oh no, brother! I need him to be like Samuel L. Jackson and
that's
just get
what
stuff because he want to.
exactly. He needs to be 100 something still on the screen, like Miss
That's what I'm
Cicely
saying.
Tyson was. Like, keep
Cicely
it
Tyson,
moving, keep it
shoot. If they
going.
want to say somebody white, Betty White,
That part, yeah.
come on now. She was almost there, but you come
Mm,
on.
uh-huh. Keep it going. We need to see your face.
Every time
Um,
he do his hand, I'm here for.
I
I'm
know.
here.
I know. So Idris Denzel, who's another actor that I really appreciate. Another male actor. Um, I've always appreciated Jeffrey Wright too. And I think I first learned about him was I think it was like Shaft, the one of the most recent Shaft movies with Samuel L. Jackson. He was in
Oh,
American Fiction, and I think he's also in Spike's upcoming film, Hire to Something is coming out I think this month. But yeah, there's just something about him that I really appreciate. So he would be another one.
he do be cooking. I had to remember his
He
face first.
does.
I was
He
like,
does
I was
not
like, which person?
play.
You know what I remembered it? Nah, he know how to do some work.
Yes.
These people be working. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we here.
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of like fantasy, when it comes to you building this large world, did you, how do I put this? Did you ever connect something like to a book? Like, did it come from you like reading books and everything? Because you said you big word person. So I assume you big reading the fantasy novels. So was there like a fantasy novel that made you be like, oh my gosh, the way this world is set up, everything about it, yes.
That's a great question. I would say probably it more so came from like Disney movies. Like I absolutely Beauty and the Beast was one of my favorites. One of my absolute favorites.
Why?
I think because I really connected to Belle, this quiet girl, into her books, intuitive in the sense that, like old dude was really trying to get at her and she was like, "You not serious, I'm not messing with you." Like really being able to feel like feel people out and feel the world. And like that's how I moved through the world because I had to, because of, the environment made me have to do that to protect myself. And so yeah, and then I don't know, just how like, supportive and like empathetic she was. And then the whole song part of it. Like I love musicals. I love me a musical. I really do. The Wizard of Oz is one of my favorite movies. Like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, The Oz. Like I think it's the movies like that. They're like, wow, like I really feel like I'm somewhere else.
Mm.
And I think because of the environment I was in, I often felt like I had the desire to escape to somewhere else. And so I think
Mm.
that's more so where it comes from. Like, of course, I definitely read books and I loved Mia you know, fictional books. But I don't think there was a well, that's not true. I remember reading the Boxcar Children. I remember I used to like the what was it called? American Doll books. So yeah, there's definitely some, fantasy type of stuff that I engage with and that always made me feel, I guess, alive. Yeah.
Mm. Oh, that's all right. That's all right. So would you ever take a foot? Would you ever put your foot in horror in any way, shape, or form?
Oh, for sure. I love horror. I really do.
Really?
I do. Yeah. Something like Get Out. Like I love Get Out. I
Girl,
love
I couldn't watch that
Jordan
movie.
Peele.
I was so scared. Like, I don't know what it is. I love Jordan Peele. I think that's the worst part. I absolutely love
Uh-huh.
Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
But his movies scare me so much because
Mm.
it's like his movies have been things I've already thought.
Yeah.
So I'm
They're
like,
they're they're real, really real.
that's what I'm saying. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, what movie was it? The one where there was it was the two people, but the doppelganger one?
The doubles,
Yeah, the double.
us. Us.
I
Yeah.
I walked into the movie theater, right?
Mhm.
I paid for the ticket, had the popcorn.
I'm done.
The first scene came on. I said, I can't handle this. I can't,
You said I ain't gonna be able to do it.
I ain't gonna be able to do this. I was like, I can't do this. That's
That.
the reason. I think his movies are the reason why. It's like I I have to know the ending first, so then I can just
Mm,
enjoy the
how
whole
to?
thing.
Yeah, I can see
And
that.
it's just his movies.
They
It's
are intense. They're very
I'll
intense.
be like, oh my God. I think the one that I really that I sat through in theaters was the one with Loki, kind of spoiler alert, like the alien.
Oh, nope.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was able to sit through that one. But when
Hmm.
it came to Get Out, when it came to Us, I said,
That ain't for me.
this is too real. And
Hmm.
I feel this could be a possibility. So I will give you money.
Hmm.
I just don't
Yeah.
know if I'll be able to sit. I'll probably have to sit with him to watch the movie and I'll still walk out.
I'm done.
I'll be like,
I'm so through.
it's all right. Thank you, Jordan.
That's
You're the
hilarious.
best. It's, this is, but one of my favorite movies though is It. I
I
love
love it
that movie.
too.
I
Hmm.
love the reason, like the newer ones. I absolutely love
Yeah,
that
me too.
because that
Hmm.
cinematography. I said, look
Oh,
at this.
girl. Yes, just gorgeous.
I said, dang, he finna kill that kid.
Hmm.
But look at that camera work.
Look at that color grading.
Look at that.
We about to see his blood very visually. It's about to be vibrant and really real.
Like that was, I think, is that movie and The Conjuring. It might have been the first Conjuring,
Uh-huh.
where it's like I looked at them not as horror movies. So it's like only
Mm-hmm.
thing I did was just appreciate them.
Yeah, yeah.
Jordan, that's just
That's,
horror to me. I'm like, oh my God.
yeah, that's real horror. That's lived horror. Yes.
When I saw that black man in that chair, I said, and we're cutting this. Go ahead, guys. We're gonna wrap this up. It's cool. Give the money. Give the money. But no, oh, is there any producer, director, company that you would love to work with?
Industry wise, I have a lot of what I call virtual mentors, who I, look up to and take to as far as what they're about, the type of stories they tell, the way they move in the industry. And those people would be Devon Franklin. So he's a producer. I would call him a super producer. Um, Ava DuVernay is another person. Issa Rae, of course. Gina Prince Bythewood. I love her. Um, and yeah, those are the people. I mean, Oprah. You know, um, yeah, those are the people who come to mind and like all together really encapsulate my hopes and dreams. And so, Ryan Coogler, can't forget about Ryan Coogler. Um, yeah, Spike Lee. Um, yeah, the ones who have paved and are paving the way.
And Uncle Ruckus, no relation. If you want to be told about yourself, if you want to tell somebody, if you want a Negro woman listening to you tell them about you, then you need to listen to her on what's the name of your podcast, Black Lady?
Tell me about you.
Tell me about who?
You.
Who?
You.
Your Negro